Welcome to 108 Gate. Hope you are well. Interesting energies surrounding us at the moment. How have you been navigating them? Have you had some interesting things coming up to navigate? So, here we go. Insight. The level at which it feels very wide, like the insight is very wide and vast, and the insight is coming in at a rate that some of us may have been prepared for, some of us may not be ready for, and it doesn't feel like it's just on a emotional level. It feels like it's covering so much. It could be psychologically, sensory, physiologically, spiritually. It's covering all bases. It literally feels like it's a ground up, from your roots up, that things are being shifted and changed. So the insight, it's on a different level of vastness. It's on a different level of what is providing insight around. So on some level it's quite overwhelming and daunting, but on some level it's for some of you who are ready for this and want to go into this, it's quite welcoming. Or you're welcoming it because you're kind of been working to get this catapult forward, this quantum leap that's available, or quantum leaps that are available now. It really depends on how ready are you, how open-hearted are you, and how willing are you to be able to see the truth of the matter, truth of who people are, the truth of what you've been ignoring. Really being ready to accept the truth of what is. So what I mean by that is you can't be contorting the truth any longer because it won't allow it to be bent. So it's like if you think about a rod and it's made of glass or ice, to be safer, you can only bend that rod so far and it'll just shatter. This is where we're at right now. It feels like there's a lot of things that are going to be shattering. There are going to be a lot of things that are you just can't ignore, you can't avoid. And it's not because you're looking in the different direction, it's because it's right there in your face, and no matter which way, shape or form you're looking at it, if you turn the lights off, it's still going to illuminate in the dark. So Knight of Pentacles coming in, this is definitely going to give you a shake up of what you value and what you need to be looking to value. So if you have been compromising your values, you've been compromising what you're doing, compromising how you're doing things, it's going to be bringing that back into the forefront and asking you to understand that you kind of have no choice but to look at your values and how you're conducting yourself in or out of alignment with your values. If you value a particular relationship in a misconstrued way, in a distorted way, you're going to have that shaken to the bone, shaken to the core. If you're valuing a job but you're just kind of like looking at the surface value of it, you're looking at the aspects of it which suit you to a certain level but they're not suiting you to a higher level, you're going to have those things kind of being illuminated and just kind of I'm saying kind of a lot, aware that this isn't going to work long term. It's not going to be there sustainable long term. I do sense that there's going to be there's different groups of people in this, because there's the groups of people that are not willing and not wanting to see what's happening, and I can see the rebuttal of that. You can see the literally going to be like kind of pulled with the cart and the horse, as opposed to sitting on the horse or cart and then going with it and being led by the horse. It's a very different sensation, a very different way of doing things. So when we've had splits in the past, I do see that this is another one of those massive probably bigger than what we've had before on some level, a big split coming in again. It's like you can only go so far in a lie without it kind of letting you know that this isn't for you. But the thing is, we've got so used to telling ourselves, it doesn't matter, I can just deal with it, it doesn't matter, I'll just put up with this, I'll put up with that. It ain't going to allow that to happen anymore. So there's 9 of wands that are coming in. You're remembering the pain. This definitely is coming in of past pain, past situations that you just kind of allowed yourself to be pulled along the side of, again, seeing like a high speed movement, and you're just allowing yourself to be pulled along with it. You're allowing yourself to be pushed, pulled, manipulated, spoken to in a certain way, treated in a certain way. And those things are going to be at the forefront. They're going to be coming up really strong for you to take an assessment of this. Those of you, again, who are ready to do this work, you're ready, willing and armed with those thought patterns being changed, with those skills and ability to say, this is not happening again. Not just saying it, meaning it and doing it. It's a really powerful reading. So you got the Empress, there you go. So you got that energy of this is not happening again, and I mean it's not happening again. So if anyone tries to do that, they will be met with some kind of resistance from yourself, or they will be met with a very firm kind of no, this is not happening again. The Hermit going in with the Knight of Pentacles, it does feel like it's a very, very internal sense of values. This is asking you to see where you've been influenced by other people's values, where you've wanted to impress others, or you've wanted to be approved of by others, you've wanted to be seeking the acceptance from others. This is another level of that. It's not the surface area of that, or the surface level of that. It's on a real deep soul core level that this is going to be going through. So I don't know if you know much about Sedna. Sedna's going into Gemini at some point. So we literally is coming out of a very earthbound kind of sedimentary kind of locked in vibe into a more air and flowy kind of vibe. So it's going to be a big massive shift happening on a cognitive level, on an emotional level, on a communication level. So it's about time now that you get those things that we're not communicating effectively, not communicating efficiently. You either start learning to do it, or you do it. What's going to happen for you, and you might not be happy with what you hear. You might not be happy with the outcome if you don't take control now. If you already have been doing this and you've experienced the last few configurations with some kind of like, whoa, what is going on, but being conscious of it and actually just accepting it for what it is and seeing where and how it's come about, then you've got a better chance of kind of coming out of this on top, on the horse, as opposed to being dragged by the horse. So this Page of Cups here is definitely feeling like, although you may have been seeking love, you've been seeking something that you're not going to get from a particular source. It's about coming to terms with that. It's about coming to terms with the grief that may bring up. It may be about coming to terms with, I just got to accept that person for who they are. I've got to accept this situation, this job for what it is. Now I either accept it and I see that I have to make a change, or changes will happen for you. Changes will happen to you. Course correction. So justice coming in, seeing that this is just not you on your path, or seeing that this, yes, is you on your path. I'm going to start speaking to those more so on their path and how we can move through this forward, because that split seems significantly large. So in the honouring of those doing the work, and with the intention of wanting to work more so with people who are doing their work and ready to do their work, just because the whole language is going to shift around this, the whole essence of this is going to change. I want to keep focused on that area, because initially when we did the other splits, it's like, right, it's going to break off. You can't keep, and it's exactly the same energy of like, you can't keep looking at where someone is not improving, where someone is not making their contribution to the progress of something. It's a matter of, I can't go that way, I've got to let it go. It's going to be hard, it's going to be tough for some of you, because you're holding on to it for dear life. You're holding on to it because you're waiting for something to shift and change. You're not going to be going in that direction. So this direction is definitely feeling like this is the cut-off point, and this is where there's just a void. We're not going that way. We want to be going this way. looking within you to your values, looking within you to your higher values, looking within you to increasing your values, where your values have been depleted because you've let others influence you, going into that Empress mode, looking at the insight there, knowing you've got this, knowing you can handle it, knowing that, okay, I'm going to look at this with courage, I'm going to look at this with strength, getting the insight for where you've been hurt before, getting the insight for where you've allowed others to hurt you, the different ways you've been hurt, the different ways you've been disappointed, bringing in compassion and love, bringing in some kind of healing, allowing for the healing to happen, allowing for the appropriate support to come in. And then justice is right there. Coming out as a reward, coming out as a, you know what, it may look weird from the outside, but when you start looking at the intricacies that made this situation occur, that brought this situation about, then you'll understand that this is quite significantly supporting you in a very matter-of-fact, just way. If you've sent out the message that you can take advantage of me, you've sent out the message that it's okay for this to happen and that to happen, you're going to get a certain thing come back. I will be putting up a post in the community space to be transparent about this, of something that's happened, just because this is not a joke. It's not a easy energy to be working through, but at the same time, it's that thing about, it's not what's happened essentially, it's how do you deal with it, how do you look at it, and how do you move on from it, how do you move through it. How do you pick yourself back up and allow yourself to see, like, whoa, that was a bit weird, that was a bit strange, but what have I learned from this? What can I learn from this? How can I make shifts and changes to improve myself from this? Where's my boundary? Do I even have a boundary there? Do I have a safety space there? Do I have this and that in place? So it's really, really taking stock of when we know we're going into a very, very foreign new space of humanity, of civilization, of us being on this earth currently. The 3D is going to be even more peculiar. But the thing is, when you're connecting with the higher dimensions and the multi-dimensions, you're kind of getting a heads up of what's coming anyway. So those of you who are in tune with that and aware of that, you've sensed it's coming. And I have said before that we before the eclipse happened, before the conjunction of Uranus with Jupiter, it's like this a preparation in this, the preparation of when we get there, that we're already able to know that something weird's going to happen, something's going to happen that's out of the norm. We have to be prepared for it. How do we prep ourselves when we don't quite know exactly what it is? It's about being able to come steady straight away. Something rocks your boat, something upsets you, something throws you this way, that way. It's about making sure that you're able to come steady and do the best you possibly can in that situation, making sure you keep your cool, making sure that you're making the correct decisions for yourself, essentially. So, with the Justice, I'm going to get another card there. 5 of Wands. So this 5 of Wands is coming in that there's going to be, it's inevitable that you're to bring justice in for yourself, to make sure you're doing the best for yourself. There's going to be some conflict coming in. There's going to be conflict possibly with others. There's definitely going to be some inner conflict because there's going to be certain things that come up that you don't want to do. You don't feel like you have to do. You feel like, I really want to go this way and I'll go around it so I don't have to look at it. I don't want to be dealing with that, to be honest. It's a bit cowardice. And that's not, I'm not saying you're a coward. I'm saying the approach is with cowardice. The approach is avoidance. Therefore, you're going to either split off over there, or you're going to come to this point and understand, what do I actually value? How do I value myself? What value of myself am I presenting out into the world, into the universe? Assess that. How are you going to stand up for yourself? How are you going to be your best friend to yourself? How are you going to be the one that communicates your needs, communicates your desires, communicates what you want to be happening from your heart? If you don't communicate that, you ain't going to be heard. So you can't really have a go at someone else. You can't blame someone else. It's on you. Communicate what you need to the universe, communicate what you want, and see how it unfolds. Be ready for things to be thrown upside down. At the same time, be ready for you to I'm seeing like a rocking boat, but if you understand your posture, you understand how to stand in a particular way with your legs slightly separated, one slightly in forward of the other, and things like that, you can get yourself in a very strong position where you can kind of deal with quite turbulent waves and still be standing, rising above it. If we're going to get one more here, that feels like it's the step before the split. It's very, very specific. So the insight is going to be quite, I'm saying quite, it's going to be very matter of fact. It's going to be very, it's in your face. You either see or you don't. If you're not seeing it, that split is a significant one. Ace of Wands, stepping in the correct direction. Step in the correct direction. The step before the split, the step after the split is basically go in the correct direction for you. I can't tell you what that is. You're the one who knows what your capacity is. You're the one who knows what you're willing or not willing to tolerate. You're the one who knows the difference between I'm willing and not willing to tolerate this, but what are you doing about that? Saying it is not enough. It's a matter of doing it, making sure we put it into place, making sure we're showing the universe I'm committed to myself, I'm committed to my path, I'm committed to my purpose, I'm committed to that which is serving me for my higher good, so I can serve it for my higher good, from my higher good, and on and on and on. So we're going to get another one for the Empress. There you go. Definitely wants to focus on what are you building. Are you building animosity, or are you building freedom? Are you building anger, or are you building peace? What are you building? Focus on that which you want. Focus on that which is nurturing and kind and loving and generous and all those great things for yourself. So, like I said, I'm going to put a post in the community. It's just going to be a little bit of writing to let you know why I've been a bit MIA again. It's all happening, so just go with it, roll with it. But yeah, enjoy this vibe. Which way are you going? Check in with yourself and really be good to yourself and commit to that which is working for you. Like I said, I'm not the one who decides for you. You are. This is just a message. So for now, peace and love.